The Gorecast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror.
Also brought to you by iBleedIndie.com, your one-stop shop for all your horror rentals and purchases. Don't waste $10 on a soda, relax at home with iBleedIndie.com.
As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hello, and welcome back to the Gorecast from our brief week break there last week.
Yeah, we felt we needed it.
Which he got a brief break. I had to edit the video that went up. Apologies for the audio going out. Also, good evening to Bern, because she already messaged.
Hey, Bern!
So, this week, because I've specifically more so, but we've both wanted to do this for a while, which is John Carpenter's original Halloweens and Rob Zombie's remakes of the Halloweens, because some think they're terrible movies, and I think he's a secret genius.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, we plan on basically reviewing both directors'...
I'm just going to do my clickety-click.
You do that. We'll be reviewing both directors' versions, obviously John Carpenter being the original one, so we'll be sticking with his first two, and then Rob Zombie's remakes. But we'll also be taking a look and comparing some of the arguments that have been put forth as to perhaps why Rob Zombie's films are better or why Rob Zombie's films are worse. Hang on, I'm saying arguments
They're not
both
better,
ways.
they're different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It
Arguments
fits
both
into
ways.
the Dr. Pepper of horror category.
So
that I like to call it.
misunderstood.
So misunderstood. Because there's a lot in there that, yeah, we'll wait till we get to Zombie to start talking about that.
Yeah.
Joe Daly also say hello.
Hi, Joe. How are you getting
And
on?
we all say hello. And Paddy Murphy, we say hello.
Paddy, how are we doing?
And continue. Back to click.
Yeah, basically the Halloween films, John Carpenter's original Halloween movie basically set the scene for what would be the archetypical slasher that hunts teens kind of thing, you know, whereby if you're the one that's going along and you're smoking, you're drinking, you're having all kinds of fun, then odds are you're going to get killed in one way, shape or form. Now, this would kind of carry on a trend that would be taken up with Friday the 13th and then later on with Nightmare on Elm Street, whereby you can pretty much figure out what kids are going to get offed based on what behaviour they're up to. Oh no, they're being bad, we're going to kill them. Because moralistic tales...
That's very well put.
Yeah, thank you. Moralistic tales just need to be put in there. But whereas there had been slasher movies before John Carpenter made the original Halloween movie, they hadn't really established, as I said, these parameters by which a certain specific type would work. And these parameters being the ones that, for some strange and unknown reason, would end up being carried on for decades after it, reused again and again and again. However...
And again.
However, the problem is...
Until 2000s, really.
I'm sure there's still the old, let's kill the teens.
There was the 90s where there was kill all the sexy teenagers. Then there was the 2000s where it was let's take the piss of all the movies that kill the sexy teenagers. And then there's 2010, or there's the late 2000s where you have cut everybody up into many little pieces. Saw being one.
Yeah, but you'd still get the odd slasher film where they'll decide to go along with the old golden oldie of if you've been bad, you're getting a chopping.
I'm talking on the whole.
Oh yeah, I admit the prevalence for using the kill all the bad people notion has kind of dwindled over the last couple of decades. But
Sleepaway Camp, watch that shit. We will be.
But
we've seen it, but
yeah,
we'll be doing it.
But it's still one that can be used. And as I said, the difference is, right, there was slasher movies that were around before Halloween, such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the big ones.
Yeah.
But where the victim pool was a little bit broader in those ones, Halloween was the first one to kind of refine it down. You didn't get many adults getting killed over the course of the Halloween movies. In fact, I think there was maybe one or two. And that was in the second movie.
Yeah, the bystanders. The hospital has a relatively adult high kill count.
No, there was really only two. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
There's a couple of security guards.
There was one security guard.
nurse.
There was 2 nurses. Yeah. But for the most part, it stuck to the rules that were set down, and which...
It was the first movie to do the super innocent girl next door final lady kind of thing. Like before that,
the Survivor.
Yeah, the Survivor was all like, it's where the archetype came from. You know, the like if you think of Scream, where it was like, if you have sex, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, it was that original. She's the original one.
Innocence gets to be preserved.
Because Texas Chainsaw Massacre, your one was a pot smoking hippie chick.
Yeah, true enough.
Mad for the D, if I remember correctly. Or no, that might have been a friend actually. Can't remember. There was a lot of strange things going on in the 70s.
Now, the only real problem with the Halloween movies is that, to be perfectly honest, once you got past the second one, I don't know, maybe it's my own personal preference, but I think once you got past the second one, they
Crazy.
degenerate was the term I was going to use, but yeah, crazy.
They go crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's where Michael develops superpowers to a
Yeah.
certain extent.
And I
Not
think-
like Jason, where it's like killer powers. It's more Professor X. But
Yeah.
without the power to explode your brain from the inside out.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think that was just thrown in there to try and compensate. You see, Friday the 13th, Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, the one advantage they would have had over Mike Myers in regards of the type of killer there are is the fact they're supernatural entities. And as a result, that saw Michael Myers kind of living in the shadows of these characters for a long time and saw their popularity.
debatable.
Well, you know, when you look at the franchise as a whole, the Halloween franchise...
Every time we say it, on the whole, I keep laughing inside.
Well,
So I'm just going to laugh outside now, just for a moment.
All right, well, that's... Yeah, fair enough.
You're grown up.
If you look at the franchises overall, shall we say,
Yeah.
while there is deterioration along all 3 of them, it's more rapid, I think, in Halloween because you can see that they're kind of like trying to compensate for Friday the 13th after coming out. I think Nightmare on Elm Street would have been out by the time the 3rd Halloween movie was around.
It would have been, yeah, because I think Nightmare on Elm Street was 82 or 3,
83.
and Halloween 2 was 81.
Yeah, so odds are, as I said, when you're looking at creating a franchise and you've got your killer and he's set, but he's, for all intents and purposes, a very normal-ish killer in that he's not. There's no magic powers to him. Yeah, okay, he's a tough son of a gun and he's crazy.
Boy, nurse.
What?
So, no, there's a whole thread going on here. You keep doing what you do, and I'll keep doing this.
Okay.
Sorry, I said it out loud. That's what happened.
Where Mike Myers, the character himself, could possibly be an actual person, in that you have somebody that's just born with this genetic disposition towards violence, whose environment, for whatever reason, kind of catalyzes that and initiates this, what would eventually be unstoppable killing machine being let loose. The difference is that's semi-believable. You can actually imagine reading about some guy that was institutionalized as a kid, came out, for whatever reason, is incapable of feeling any kind of emotion, incapable of feeling actual physical pain.
Well, it's because he's like the textbook definition of psychopath.
Yeah, pretty much.
The not feeling any pain thing is never explained.
Well, there's...
It's mental, isn't it?
It's not actually. There is conditions whereby, and it's been linked to, let's say, emotional dullness, whereby people they don't have the sense of nerve endings and things that the rest of us do.
I'm aware of the condition. I just don't remember him ever having a official diagnosis.
Yeah, because it was never given. It's these. It's another one of those things that I think is left up the audience or the viewer, I suppose, to try and rationalise for themselves. And I think it's one of those degrees of leeway which Rob Zombie could have, if he had chosen, he could have gone with and explained. Now, he never did. He just accepted the fact and ran with it. But it's a plausible explanation for why you can shoot the guy, you can stab the guy, but he'll still get up, without having to bring in a supernatural overture, such as Jason being undead or Freddy Krueger just being a demonic entity, more or less.
Yeah. Yes.
So as a result, without these things being obviously explained in the original 2 movies, the Mike Myers character was left somewhat overshadowed by these supernatural entities, who would have been more popular purely because, you know, hey, it's something spooky, here's a killer, fair enough, but here's spooky stuff going on here, and kids like spooky stuff, so we're going to go over here. So I think they kind of, as a result, started trying to introduce that aspect from the 3rd movie onwards. Specifically,
Byrne is saying that you're kind of discrimination yourself. I'm assuming discrimination is a typo, but the not feeling pain part is it was because of battering he got when younger. I vaguely remember a touch of that. That was more in the latter Rob Zombie movies, not so much in the originals, because you don't get much of a brief shot into his past. You get the opening intro. That's it.
Yeah, but even still, you get a hockey in when you're a kid, fair enough. But by the time you're an adult, it's not going to be enough to make you be able to stand up after getting shot.
Yes, this is also very true. Yeah, 100%.
Whereas, the notion that perhaps he actually genetically couldn't feel pain. I mean, there is conditions like that out there, whereby people have to be very careful if they injure themselves to make sure they actually pay attention to it, because they just don't feel it.
Like walk around bleeding out. Yeah.
Pretty much, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, Byrne, you
should probably eat something. I'm feeling a bit dizzy. Maybe you should get your hands sewn up. That might be a better idea. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, Byrne might have a point. I mean, he did get in the... Well, he didn't get that many... I
don't think she's speaking from... Because he got beaten up a lot when he was younger, he got hurt. I think she meant, like, as in this... back to the mental dullness thing, where he's just... Mentally, he's just numb to everything.
Yeah, but, that's the mental aspect of it, the physical aspect of it. But anyway, look, the whole point being that Mike Myers he is basically a character that could theoretically be read about in the newspapers. Whereas before, at least before the third film comes along. Whereas with Jason and Freddy and other kind of killers in that vein, they already had that supernatural thing worked in as part of their character. So yeah, maybe they felt the need to kind of add it in. But in
the case of Jason, it kind of progressively got more... He got more supernatural as it went on. I
think they just kind of explained things a bit better rather than,
the way I feel is like every Jason movie... You see, I'm such a... Sorry, I always do this the whole time. I always end up on Jason. But I think the thing with him is that it's like... He's like a progressing Pokemon. Every movie, So it's kind of like he's learned... He's developed... He's like Jason...
You caught Pig Sticker. You have killed enough camp counselors. He is now evolved to Slasher. Kill enough more camp
Brian Fitzgerald, Shaco, you're a legend.
Thank you, Brian. It's been ages. But I can see what you mean. Evolutionary line.
Jeez, I haven't heard you call Shaco in ages.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's a long time.
It's been a while.
That's a long time. We're confusing the audience now.
We're confusing myself too. You and your fucking Pokemon reference. Oh God! I just had this vision of Freddy Krueger and Jason versus Freddy. Alright, Jason, go! Throw a Pokeball at the house. Jason springs out and goes after all the kids.
Well, you went a completely different direction with that to the way I was going to go. Okay. I saw them have been more like Pokemon, but like Pikachu. Do you know what I mean? Where he I don't see Jason willingly going in a ball.
If you know the Pokemon don't willingly go in either, you have to battle them.
No. Yeah, that's true. It's actually an entire cartoon. It's an entire cartoon series about animal abuse. That's what the entire thing is. Sorry to divert off the topic there completely, but look, everyone's grown up now that's watching the show. I think it's okay to say Pokemon is it's an entire cartoon series all about animal abuse. Firing metal balls at them, beating them with the other animals that you've beaten into submission already, and then
forcing
making them
go to fight. Yeah.
It's animal abuse. It's like dogging. No, dogging's completely. That came out wrong. Anyway, Halloween 2/1. John Carpenter.
Yeah. So we just move straight into the review.
Doesn't mean there's poop. Shit, I'm after starting a fucking horrible... We'll just ignore that and we'll just go back to the Halloween. They'll get back on track. It'll be okay.
I think you might have to start. I'm still crying here from after.
Where were we at? I was doing all this thing. Just popping in occasionally.
Let's just start off by reviewing the fucking films before this degenerates any further.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, John Carpenter's original Halloween movie, wherein we are introduced to the synonymous Mike Myers and to Jamie Lee Curtis' infamous role as... Oh God, you got this on it.
Is it good?
Yeah, infamous role as Laurie. I mean, this film pretty much made her as being the Scream Queen for like 2 decades.
I kind of invented it nearly to a certain extent.
It certainly invented the notion of a Scream Queen surviving. Oh no, wait, you said that your one did survive at the end.
Yeah, your one gets into the back of a pickup truck.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
It's the second one where she gets into the big old truck and gets brought back.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, in case everyone's wondering what we're shitting on about.
Sorry. The original Halloween movie starts off all nice and innocent, sets up her scene nicely, whereby you have the suburbs. You're introduced to Laurie and her friends. Typical 63. The film's set in 60. I'm an idiot. It starts off in 63 in the house.
Yeah.
My bad.
Where a young child wants to go out
Trick-or-treating.
trick-or-treating for candy, and his slutty sister is too busy bedoinking her hippie boyfriend upstairs.
Yeah.
And then he goes outside and he sits in a step for a while and loads of nothing happens, and then he walks inside and he stabs everyone to death.
Yeah. With a complete and utter, blank expression on it. Once he takes the mask off, expression is just
And a
blank.
fantastically creepy, but actually existed at the time, clown costume.
Yeah, that's kind of disturbing.
That's not just set piecing. Look it up, that shit existed.
Yeah.
Actual kids went around dressed like that. Now they'll be shot.
So the kid is
That's
naturally enough taken away and institutionalized, because that's what you do when a kid is.
Because 10-year-olds don't stab people to death.
Yeah. So fast forward 15 years later, and lo and behold, it is Halloween night, and as I said, we're introduced to Laurie and her friends. Typical teenagers setting up babysitting routines so that they can get out of it, so that Anna. I think that's it.
Anna.
Yeah. So that Anna can get off.
The party girl.
Party girl.
/ cheerleader.
Is she a cheerleader? She's yeah, probably.
We watched all of these together.
Over the space.
Occasionally, there may be a strange quantum...
entanglement.
Quantum, yeah. What's the thing from Flash?
Crossover.
Thank you. Where
because
Rob
details
Zombie
are-
and other things will bleed in, because we've watched a lot of Halloween in 24 hours.
Halloween basically takes the slow build approach, but at the same time introducing you to what are clearly happy-go-lucky teen characters, setting them up for the obvious fall. The adults that are around, the Annie.
Oh yeah, oh Annie. Yeah. Sound of a dying yak.
Yeah,
that'll come up.
Annie's dad is the town sheriff, which is important and relevant.
Yeah.
But we're introduced to all of them. We're introduced to the town sheriff, where the main characters are set in play. And then, lo and behold, we are also introduced to Dr. Loomis, who is being called in because the high security wing in the sanitarium,
they don't know how to keep people in.
Yeah. Despite the fact that Loomis said, "Hey guys, he's really fracking dangerous. I'm out of here. Keep him under lock and key."
Don't
he's
let
gone
the fact that he doesn't talk fool you.
Yeah. He is an unrepentant killing machine. He is void of all soul. Seriously, do not let him out. I'm going
With
over here.
With an inhuman focus, all he does is look out the window
and picture the day
picturing
he's
outside
out.
the window. Which I'm mentioning that line specifically because that will play integrally into our proving that Rob Zombie isn't a nutcase at the end of the comparative later on.
But anyway, keep him under lock and key. Do not let him out. He's an unstoppable killing machine. I'm going over here for a cup of coffee. Wait, what the fuck? You let him out? What the hell? So Loomis understandably freaks the bean, where everyone else seems rather...
It's because Loomis is the only one that knows what an absolute... for some reason, I don't know why, it's like now 15 years later, people are like, what's the big guy in for again? Sure, Jesus, I can't remember. Killing a load of fucking people. That's why. He killed a load of fucking people.
Yeah. So
no, they've all forgotten about this.
Loomis's instinct is obvious to go, fuck, and hightail it back to the one place that he knows he's probably going. Because Loomis...
However could he get there? He can't even drive. Bullshit. Bullshit, I tell you. He can fucking drive.
Sorry.
How did he get there? How do you know he's going to go there? Because he's a fucking psychopath.
But Loomis is aware of the connection, though, isn't he?
Loomis is aware of the connection.
Yeah.
It's everyone else in the hospital is tick.
Yeah.
Is basically it. And so is Annie's dad.
Yeah.
Because things happen in the end that he should actually feel quite responsible for, to be blatantly honest, because he was blatantly disregarding what I understandably could be described as a crackpot psychiatrist running around the town with a gun way too big for him.
Yeah, that was a bit of an issue, all right.
Yeah. He pulled on a proper Charles Bronson at the end of it, like, Fuck hand cannon. You need it though.
which kind of explains something else in the Rob Zombie ones that we'll get to later.
Yes, that's actually true. Yeah.
So-
Audience, mental track that.
Yeah, so while we're being introduced and while the story is progressing and we're seeing how it's Halloween night, Laurie and Annie are going to be babysitting these two kids. The plan is that Annie brings over the little girl so that Laurie can keep an eye on herself and the little boy while Annie fucks off with the boyfriend. That's the plan, anyway. Paul, that's Annie's boyfriend because she's waiting on the phone when she gets stuck in the shed with the washing machine. She gets stuck in the window.
Yeah. Bad father figures in movies. It wasn't a bad father figure, he was just a useless fucking sheriff. He loved his daughter, he treated her with all the kindness and love a father could.
To be fair, he wasn't a useless sheriff, he was a busy sheriff. If you know it, the entire film, he's actually working the whole fucking time. In fact, he's on the job outside an alarm going off at a shop when Loomis finally catch up with him, which is 5 minutes after Annie and Laurie drive past on the way to their babysitting gigs, and which is cool because Loomis gets the sheriff's attention, explains he really has to talk to him. Sheriff goes, I'll be back in a few minutes. Loomis goes, I'll be waiting right here. His back is turned as Mike Myers, who is clearly capable of fucking driving, who after spending the opening,
Here, let's tell you something really secret about Mike Myers people in the hospital. He's quiet. He's not fucking thick.
He's managed to drive to Haydenfield.
He's got 3 pedals and a fucking gear stick to figure out. You can figure it out, like. It's not like he's trying to do... He's not like he's sticking to the rules of the road, like.
It's better yet. He's driven there in one of their own fucking vehicles. He's actually robbed their car, ripped them off. He spent the beginning of the film quietly stalking Laurie and her friends. Well, mainly Laurie, but her friends, blah, blah. She's inside in the classroom. She looks out. She sees him standing there. You have Tommy.
Who cares? He's going to die.
The kid.
Oh, yeah. No, Tommy.
Yeah. Sorry? He gets obsessed with the boogeyman and he spots Mike Myers a couple of times and he's gone on about the boogeyman. But anyway, getting back to it, Loomis is standing there at the corner with the sheriff inside in the shop. And it's cool because he's looking this way. And it's just, as he turns, the car comes up around the corner and it's past. Yeah, no, he's looking that way and it comes up this way. He looks that way and it passes by him. It's done really, really well. And it's just Mike Myers following the girls.
Yeah. There's also between the Rob Zombie one, there's the differing how Mike Myers acquires his mask around this stage as well.
How did the original Mike get it again?
He wanders into like a toy shop. He wanders into a toy shop because the mask's on sale and he just lifts it.
Huh.
Whereas in Rob Zombie, it's much different. She'll find out.
Yeah. It's actually hilarious to think that William Shatner is inadvertently responsible for being a mass murderer.
Is it though?
Well, it's his face.
No, but is it hard to think that he's responsible for being a mass murderer?
No, not if you take a good long look at James T. Kirk's career.
Oh, thank you.
So anyway, the film basically does a fantastic job of... you have Loomis telling you exactly what the nature of the beast is, that he is soulless, that he has no remorse whatsoever.
Void of human emotion.
That he is 100% focused and intent, that death has quite literally come to Haddonfield. He
actually literally says, death has come to Haddonfield.
He manages to convince the sheriff that this is actually a real thing and that they should start taking things seriously. So they start checking the place out. They go back to the old Myers house and... they poke around. I think that's where they find dead dog or something like that. Yeah,
dead dog.
Yeah.
Which he was hungry.
Yeah, which like Loomis is insistent is proof that Myers is back. You know?
James T. Kirk painted white. That's right, Joe.
Yeah. Now, as I said, the sheriff kind of it's like he's humouring Loomis for a while.
Yeah, he told 100% agree. It is. It's okay, crazy pants. You just get in the car.
Yeah, we'll roll along with it. Now, what he doesn't realise is that as this progresses and as night moves on, well, you see, the thing is, Loomis is absolutely 100% right. And guess what? Teenagers start getting killed all around the place. And more specifically, all the teenagers that are known to be within Laurie's social circle, because clearly Mike has a pattern, and that pattern entails, I don't know, maybe causing an amount of fear or isolating her for whatever. Yeah, isolation seems like the best bet, I suppose. Wants to make sure that he can go in and grab her.
There's a very good sidebar going on over here about how no one would be surprised if they were to dig up James T. Kirk's backyard and just find a mass grave.
I'm pretty sure there are entire species that were wiped out by that mad bastard.
Yep. Yeah, if he wasn't banging him, he was killing him. That was basically Star Trek. That was basically Star Trek, the original series. Can I fuck it? No, shoot it. Shoot it.
A lot of times, yeah. A lot of times. So over the course of things, as the night progresses, we have... Basically, Mike tracks down all of Laurie's friends before he makes a move on her. As I said, wiping them all out, I suppose, isolating her too.
Doesn't even have to track him down super much.
He spent the entire beginning of the film stalking this chick.
They all very conveniently just situated themselves very close to each other as well.
That's because they were all planning on having a house party, and the house once they got your one out.
Yeah.
Which is the worst idea ever, because, hey, guess what? Killer smorgasbord.
Absolutely, yeah. And a really nice house, because as you find out going through the movies, Mike's a big fan of laying out a display.
Yeah, there are some nifty kills which are,
leaving dead bodies hanging in places, letting them swing from roofs.
The blonde that goes...
Dragging the tombstone, or the gravestone, should I say.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses.
Oh yeah, Paul.
That's not Paul.
That's not Paul.
No.
Paul's the one canoodling the... Annie.
What's the other girl? The blonde girl, the one that's drinking beer.
I can't remember her name. I think you're mixing up two movies.
They do it twice.
Is it in all of them?
Yeah, it's in the two of them. The same thing, because the same kill is in both of them. Where a guy...
Oh yeah, no, I remember that one because that was the friend. I don't remember Annie getting killed in the first one.
No, it's not Annie. It's the blonde. Yeah, the friend. Yeah. The blonde friend. That's what I'm talking
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, no,
Karen. It doesn't matter. She's the point. She fit into the category of meat the meat.
Yeah, pretty much. The point is that there's
5 lines dead.
Right, a bit more than that. There's
10 lines. She had 5 lines in the first bit, where they're in the school. Then you have no contact out of them until she does the one stupid line after she's finished fucking what's-his-face, and then he goes to get the beers, and then she has a brief phone call with Annie. So 10, 15 lines. Tops.
Brief phone call with Laurie. Where's Annie?
Laurie.
While this is going on, actually?
Annie's trying to canoodle someone, but I
thought Annie was dead.
No, your one dies first.
Okay. Anyway.
The old Myers house incidents happened first. Then there's Annie, who's in a separate location.
That's right. They were in the Myers. No, they were in the house that Annie was babysitting, because they pull up outside, and the notion is that the girl is
that's Annie. The girl who isn't Annie.
Yeah, pulls up.
They're
outside
in the old abandoned Myers house.
In Rob Zombie's one there.
What? No, they're in an abandoned...
In John Carpenter's one, they're in the house that Annie's babysitting at.
Okay, well then I'm correct that Annie isn't... Okay, I don't know, I get very confused now.
Annie brings little girl over to Laurie.
Okay.
I
know this.
Annie goes to meet Paul.
Let's talk about the killing more.
See, this is what happens. You fucking started me off on this, Rent. We get a bunch of fucking teens getting killed horribly, setting up the scene for Mike finally tracking down Laurie and chasing her. Through 2 different houses, actually, technically.
Yeah.
Because it starts off over in the house where Annie was babysitting.
Yeah, there's the house where everyone's dead. And then there's the house where she's put the kids.
Yeah. The kids run screaming out of it. The sheriff is still humouring Loomis by driving around with him. And I think they're taking another look at the Myers place. No, they're not. Yeah, I can't remember. Kids run screaming out of the house where Laurie is, and we have Laurie basically fighting for her life against Mike inside it. Loomis arrives on and puts a couple of bullets into Mike, and eventually over the side rail.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the end of 1.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do the trailer for Halloween 1. Then we're going to come back and break into Halloween 2. Okay. That's good. Trailer time.
The one, the only, the classic Halloween. Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael?
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure.
The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
You talk.
Hello and welcome back to the Gorecast, where the deadly one is choking to death. That's what you get for going at that damn vape thingy.
Well, we should have rolled something else.
We didn't think of it. Okay, so
My life.
apparently there was a lot of comments being passed during that trailer about the music in Halloween. John Carpenter, yeah, mainly because John Carpenter does fucking epic music. I love the soundtrack to Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
Love
I'd
it.
love to actually see him live.
There's
I saw Damon Rickard went to see him live months ago.
that's it.
Yeah,
I knew someone that we talked to. Yeah. But
second.
Carpenter has always had a way with doing. I mean, that piano bit is. It's the right kind of creep.
Yeah.
You know, kind of gets into you, like with Jaws.
It also forwarded on for some fantastic dubstep in later years.
Fair enough, I'll take your word for it. But
My bird saw him live doing music last year. Your bird is a lucky woman, Joe. That's all I'm going to say.
on to the second film.
On to the second film, which takes up exactly where they left off from movie one, pretty much.
Yeah, actually, exactly. They reuse scenes. Now, they reuse scenes from, we say, the very end of the first film. And then they do something which I thought was a little bit kind of weird, which was...
Deft.
Although, actually, I can kind of understand it. They mustn't have had the same house, because I think they had the place is completely different. Because he goes out the front, rather than out the back like he did at the end of the film. They reshoot, basically, Mike getting shot off the balcony.
Oh yes.
And when we were watching it, I remember go back there a sec. Because it's like he...
I would imagine what actually happened was they shot it from that angle on the dime when they did it initially. And then they went, that's not going to work. And then they shot it from the inside. And your man has the platform, because for you to safely flip over a balcony like that is actually very hard to do it with the flip. So you'd need to be coming off of flat. So I would imagine they might have just reused the shot and went, fuck it, no one will notice.
Except for one small problem.
Hit me with it, baby.
It's a completely different garden that he lands in.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think so.
And when Loomis goes out later on, he's checking the front of the place instead of what was
Hello,
supposed
Rob.
to be the back of the place. Rob Criven?
Cunningham.
Oh, hi Rob. But anyway, yeah, they do that. That was kind of the one thing where I kind of went, huh? But after that, it's pretty much the film takes off pretty much the second the first movie ended. I mean, we even see Laurie being carted away in an ambulance.
Come to the old Dustedale.
Yeah, all the bodies being found, news reporters everywhere. I think they were actually doing a commentary of the body being put in. The sheriff, yeah, there was a weird one whereby the bodies it's been told we've found dead bodies, but it's not until later on that the sheriff twigs that his daughter is one of them.
Yes, that's true.
You know, down in the morgue or something later on.
I put it down to that the cops are kind of like, you tell him, no, you tell him, no, you tell him, no, you tell him. Look, he's going to get here eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Let the morgue guy tell him.
Yeah. Now, Loomis is frantic. Oh no, that was in the first one. I shot him 6 times.
That's in the first one. Yeah.
But Loomis is still...
Semi-panicked, semi-proud, I think, is always like, I shot him 6 times! In the heart!
Yeah.
In the heart! First time using a handgun. Shot him.
But,
Straight in the heart.
Loomis, upon not finding Mike's body, is understandably a little bit freaked the fuck out. So he manages to get the rest of the police force on board with the whole, we need to find this psycho-killing mother fucking Jesus! Find him!
Psycho killer.
To the point that he gets, like, the sheriff's department is so tweaked up, there's cars going everywhere, and there's the unfortunate case of mistaken identity.
Oh, yeah. Hit him with the car!
I mean, that was a solid...
Yeah.
And straight into a van and then inexplicably on fire.
Oh, it's because...
Fuel tank in the van.
I was going to say that, no, in fact, William Shatner masks are highly explosive.
Not flammable, explosive.
Explosive, yeah.
It's like his little revenge. How dare you wear my... How dare...
That's where the mass graveyard came from.
Face.
What did you say? I've stumped you with the mass graveyard comment.
No, all of a sudden a bunch of things made more sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
Star Trek is a lot darker than people give it credit for.
Anyway, so Loomis and the cops are mad trying to track down Mike Myers. And once again, we have another fantastic part whereby a car drives right past, and in 2 seconds, Mike walks in the opposite direction. Seemingly unfazed by getting shot and knocked off a balcony.
With a special kind of overalls that seems to let you blend into any sort of natural background.
It's still Halloween, so I think he's able to kind of get away with it.
Yeah, but he does a lot of appearing from behind trees and shit.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, actually.
Like him, like just standing behind branches like this, just waiting.
Which is another thing we'll be getting to later on, because that's kind of funny.
Okay.
I'll explain later. But anyway, yeah.
You're going to have to.
Mike seems... What?
You're going to have to, because I don't know what's wrong about it.
Mike seems to have a rather... After the case of mistaken identity, for a little while, the cops kind of like, it's him, it has to be him.
Yeah.
Loomis is like, it's not him. And then, lo and behold, bodies start turning up again, because Mike has gotten his hands on a knife, he's seen a pretty teen, and for whatever reason, he's decided, you know what, I'm having a bad day, nobody better get in my way. So he takes out his frustration on the teen, and bodies start getting found, and the cops are like, you know what, maybe that wasn't
Maybe
him.
we did get the wrong guy.
Yeah, maybe we did. It's not helped when the 2 teens arrive on asking if they've seen such and such who was last seen walking away from a party wearing a mask.
Carpenter hates the second one, I believe. He basically stepped in to fix it because he wasn't happy with Rick Rosenthal's directing.
Really?
Yeah. Eddie Murphy. Awesome stuff.
Fair enough. Kind of takes away from our entire fucking argument, though. Well, Carpenter directed the second one as well.
But he came in and fixed it, so he obviously fixed it.
Anyway, once the cops figure out that Mike is actually still alive and Loomis was actually right and we actually do have a serious fucking problem on our hands, they begin searching everywhere again and manage to... Yeah, that's it. Just as he's about to convince them to search everywhere again, basically an associate of Loomis arrives on from the psychiatric ward that he works at,
Telling him to come home.
saying that the governor has ordered that he come home because the guy in charge of the place, basically there's a lot of hand-wringing going on, and at the end of the day they want to point the finger at Loomis. And there's a marshal and all brought along to make sure that he goes. And to be fair, Loomis's the female doctor that arrives on to pick him up, she's actually kind of on his side going, look, you have to come back. We all know you were right. We're sorry, but we need you to come back. The governor's made it an order. He's brought a marshal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So the last thing you see him talking to the lawman is, where will you look? I have no idea. Neither do I. And they kind of were left at that stage. So Mike, apparently he's...
I like the way we're on a first name basis with him now.
Well, we might as well. We call Jason Jason and Freddy Freddy.
Yeah, that's because we're actually on a first name basis with Jason. Two of them.
Mike seems to have an inexplicable link to Laurie and is able to track her down to the hospital where she was rushed to.
It's the psychic link.
Yeah, well, that's, another one of those things that zombie presents in a different way.
A little more into it.
Yeah, pretty much. But he tracks Laurie down and proceeds to start basically doing what Mike Myers does best. Wiping out everyone in the vicinity! Security guard, gone. Nurses, gone.
More nurses, gone.
Yeah.
There's another security guard gone.
Hot nurse, gone.
Car park guy.
There was only one security guy.
Wasn't it the guy at the gate?
That's in the set. That's the remake that he's at the gate. In the first one, to be fair, the security guy in the original one actually isn't too bad of a security guy. He's not taking any chances. He's going along. He's being careful. He gives the other walkie-talkie to the nurse. That's how you know there's only the one security guard, because there's no one to cover the floor or to cover the place. So she's in there while he checks out something. So he reckons there's someone after breaking into the supply locker. He tells her to call the law, except the mics or the walkie-talkies aren't working. And he's actually, to be fair, he's careful when he's checking the places. He shines a light. He's not bollocksing about. He's doing a decent enough job. It just so happens he's up against Mike Myers, who doors closes and all of a sudden, and that's a dead security guard. It's a very dead security guard. But there's the two ambulance drivers. One of them is like
this Shatner thread is still going.
Come for the Gorecast, stay for the mad-ass fucking commentary trends, apparently. But yeah, the hospital staff gets wiped out not in pretty fast order, because to be perfectly honest, it happens over the course of the film, and you have Loomis. He finally twigs it, I think, that the where Mike's gone, because he manages to convince the sheriff to
take a look on the way to bringing him to the airport to go back and talk to the governor.
Yeah, he kind of convinces him rather stringently when he draws a gun at him. Loomis from the back seat pulls a piece, sticks it to the cop's head and goes, "We're going that way."
Cool. And on that, we're going to cut to a trailer for number 2, and then we'll be back and finish talking about numero 2.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This man, he's not human.
Universal Pictures presents Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home.
Who is it?
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human. Some kind of a joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is.
Janet, go tell Mr. Garrett we're having trouble with the phones.
There is no place to hide. He will always find you.
What's this? It's a Celtic word. It means the Lord of the Dead.
Mr. Garrett?
Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home.
Sorry, the trailer had something so appalling that myself and Giz had forgotten about it. I had to have a
I
cigarette.
almost forgot about you.
The evil
Hang on,
holiday known as...
Hang on. Dear America, it is pronounced Samhain, not Samhain!
I had a good intro there, man, and you completely cock-blocked me on
I'm
it.
sorry. There's
There's a bit of drama in there. I warmed up my... No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll move on. Okay. We'll
I'm
move
sorry.
on. Anyway. If I remember correctly, Loomis had twigged it.
Yeah, returning to the hospital. Just in time for... It's actually kind of funny. Laurie had, that close to getting away, and then the other ambulance guy comes out and I guess died of a concussion, because we never really see what happened to him after he kind of falls asleep. He gets out to the car where Laurie's hiding and then kind of falls forward and hits into the horn that sets it off, which obviously is going to draw Mike, and then kind of falls back off it. We never see
He
him.
could have stabbed him in the back. Through the chair.
I don't think
That's
he
a very
was,
Mike thing to do.
I don't think he was in the back of the car, because
In through the window. He could have just broke his neck. He's Michael Myers.
Loomis and the others arrive on, and he's clearly inside in the hospital still.
Brain smash. Down straight burn. We'll go with brain smash for the sake of moving on.
Yeah.
Brain smashed him.
As I said, Loomis manages to get the Martian to go check out the hospital. Laurie just barely misses him. They go into the hospital, they're looking around. Mike is in the hospital because he comes out and confronts them.
He's having a stroll, yeah.
Yeah, strolling around, happy-go-lucky.
See my sister? No.
No.
See my sister? No. You see my sister? No.
Talking to corpses that
Yeah.
he's made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See my sister stuff.
But once again, we get another case of Loomis. It is Loomis that shoots him again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Marshal going over, and the two of us just sitting there kind of going, you don't
Don't touch the body. Don't touch the body. Don't touch the body. He's definitely not dead. Even Loomis, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
was
he's
screaming,
screaming,
don't touch the body. Yeah. Don't
he
touch
didn't
the
even
body.
move the knife.
No. No.
Just wanders right over, and lo and behold,
If anything, he probably did himself a favour leaving the knife there, because it was a nice quick death. If he'd left him barehanded, it could have been a real... Yeah, or, like Loomis in the Rob Zombie film, where he gets the Coconut Crush treatment. That actually happened.
speaking of, shall we move on to them?
Have we finished Halloween?
Well, to be honest, Halloween 2, it does a good job of continuing the story that started off in the first Halloween movie, whereby you were presented with a killer that is, to be fair, somewhat feasible within the terms of reality.
Yeah, he's totally believable.
Now, where John Carpenter goes ahead and has Loomis telling you certain aspects about the character, what it is that made him...
It actually wasn't until after most of the preluding slashers to that were also reality.
There wouldn't have been much in the way of supernatural stuff in it.
No, sure, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was total reality. It's pretty much Ed
Based
Gein.
on,
Yeah, just made bigger.
Yeah. But
In size, that is. Because Ed Gein is a scrawny fella. You meant Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a bulk of a dude.
yeah, Leatherface is big. But
Lifting cattle from one side of the house to the other and shit. Live cattle.
how did the second one end? How did it...
He got shot again. He always gets shot at the end of it and fucks off.
After they went to the hospital, confrontation, Gar gets back up. Mike gets back up, gets stabbed.
Is there a car involved?
I don't know. See, this is the problem. That over the course of the 2 days, stuff is blended together.
There's a lot of zombie. Or sorry, a lot of Halloween.
But where Carpenter's version basically tells us things like what it was that built the character.
There was a fire in the hospital.
Yes.
Thank you, Martin Green.
Thank you, Martin. You were right. There is bloody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember it. And he walks out of it.
Yes, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there would have just been 2 Halloweens. Just the 2. Got burnt to a crisp in the second one.
Yeah, but wasn't he like resurrected or something for a season of the witch, or he possessed the little girl?
He possesses the little girl, which plays into the whole psychic connection between Michael Myers and all of the members of his family. Shit's fucking That's the way things go.
Pretty much. But
Pretty much.
for those two films, at least, we're presented with a fairly acceptable killing machine.
Yeah.
You know, there's no needs to stretch the bounds of reality by saying that he's a supernatural entity. Yeah, okay, why the fuck does he keep coming back from not dying and stuff? But to a certain degree...
Well, it's a case of you never really see him die.
Yeah.
You know? See, unless Loomis was bragging, which I do remember 6 distinct shots pretty much in the kill zone.
And but there's also the sheriff going, yeah, missed him. I mean, blatantly, the sheriff is at one point, yeah, missed him. Yeah, couldn't have.
Yeah. No, I definitely hit him 6 times. Well, where's the fucking body, Loomis?
Yeah.
You know what happens when you... That's a hand cannon, is what you have there. Have you seen Bronson? That's literally... Not Bronson, sorry. Charles Bronson. That's what I meant.
I was going to say Dirty Harry, but yeah. Okay.
Either or.
But, Robot Chicken?
No. Moving on, because we're going to be hitting an advert soon.
Yeah.
It's something to do with chicken, and it's something to do with Rob Zombie.
You've completely fucking lost me. I have no idea.
Okay, what we'll do is, we've finished wrapping up number 2. We'll cut to the ad break. If anybody knows what that...
Oh,
it's
fuck!
from-
No, I know what it is.
Okay, well, we'll wait till we come back off the
Yeah,
ad
it's the
break,
chicken
whoever's
bit.
watching. Shut the fuck up. I don't ordinarily get that sassy with him, but sometimes you gotta lay down the law. Okay, so Halloween 2. There's a big fire. He walks out of it. Everyone thinks he's dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thus leading on to Halloween 3, where he's not really in it.
Yeah, that's basically it. John Carpenter goes ahead. He tells us what the type of killer is, outlines it, and gives us basically the blueprint for a couple other serial killer slasher franchises, whereby unstoppable killing machine, devoid of all humanity or supernatural entity, and goes along, kills all the
I'm getting warmed up for
fun-loving
defending the
friends.
next 2 movies.
Oh, you're not going to have to defend them, but okay. On that note, yeah.
Lads, I'm so fucking bored. Weird. I don't remember turning the TV on.
Welcome to the new American Horror Channel on Roku. Streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all night, all day, all horror. Hi, I'm Hart D. Fisher. As owner and operator of the world's greatest uncut 24 hours a day, 7 days a week horror channel, American Horrors, it's my job to let you know that I'm choking to death on this smoke. Okay, we're still rolling, right?
Studio. Sorry.
Well, that was disturbing.
Sorry. I sing to myself when I'm doing things.
But you're not by yourself.
Oh no, I don't need to be by myself. When I'm singing, I'm always by myself.
I know, I suppose I can't really say much. I do the same thing.
All by myself.
Can we move on to the film now?
After you. Rob Zombie! Not metal.
Yeah. Okay,
No,
so...
sorry, what we were singing wasn't metal. Rob Zombie. Metal.
Rob Zombie's approach to Halloween is actually pretty much an homage, and I don't want to say an explanation, but more of an exploration of the things that were basically discussed and brought up mainly by Loomis in the original Halloween movies. Here's the way I see it, right? John Carpenter tells you things, whereas Rob Zombie decides to show you them.
Yeah.
You know, you get the full proper, well, you don't get the full proper upbringing of Mike Myers, but you certainly get a more...
It was Rob Zombie on his own burn, and also he was in a band preluding the Rob Zombie days called White Zombie.
Which is awesome.
So you're technically right. Let's take that off.
Okay, fair enough.
Soccer mom here.
In Rob Zombie's film, we get a broader picture of the Myers family. You have Sherry Moon Zombie as the Mama Myers. I can't remember her first name. Was there a first name? Or is she just referred to as Mrs. Myers?
We'll call her Mrs. Morris to be respectful of the dead.
Yeah, okay. Who has 1, 2, 3.
There's two grown kids, as in one is 16.
No, there's a teenager.
There's a teenager one who's about 16, 17, I would hazard a guess. There is Michael himself, who is 10, contrary to how big a bastard he is in it. And then there's wee baby Laurie, or who is known as Angel.
Yeah, that's something that they, yeah. What's interesting is the mechanisms by which Mike Myers develops in this film. Already, we're aware of the fact that we're aware of the fact that there is this void, I suppose is the best way of putting it, in the kid. But
the first meeting you have with young Michael is him cutting his pet rat to bits in the bathroom and then flushing it down the toilet and telling his parents to give him he's wearing the clown mask
the whole time.
Yeah, which is synonymous from the first one, young baby Michael. Also, the whole parental dynamic is a lot different as well, because in the first one it's a very happy family, mum and dad, that come home to find their child sitting out in the drive.
Or at least that's the perception we're given.
Well, they're obviously out on a date because they're both very dressed up, getting dropped off by a cab. Yeah. You know, so they're already in a better family dynamic than the heap of shit that his mother is soaked up with.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy's a real grade A asshole.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we know some fucking assholes.
Yeah,
and this guy's a grade A asshole.
Yeah, so he's up there, and it's interesting to see how perhaps it's a combination. It's even said in the books, the perfect storm, a combination of what he was born with and the environment that he grew up with and certain circumstances that happened, and creates this killing machine.
Yeah.
Zombie decides to actually show us
the progression.
That
well,
formation.
Some of the progression.
Yeah.
He's already very much fucked up when you meet him.
Which goes to the notion that perhaps it's a hereditary psychosis.
Are we going to start that early? Are we going to start that
early? We'll save that for later.
Are we going to, okay. That's fine with me. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You will see war after we do the reviews of the two of these.
But we're basically showing Mike's...
I'm going to say now before we finish, before we go back into it. I will say now, I do very much like your theory. But, anywho.
Right.
On.
Words. Yeah. So, anyway, Mrs. Myers is... Yeah, we're showing the... I'm sorry, but the Pokemon reference just came back into my head. The evolution of Mike Myers. He goes from a...
Well, that's literally his... the first half is done kind of like a Michael Myers portrait of a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then he obviously kills enough people, and then he evolves into this 20-foot monster.
More like... What? How big is Tatermain?
Tatermain's 7 something.
Yeah, I think he's tipping the 7 foot, but yeah.
He's fucking big. That's what he is. That's what matters.
It's... To be fair, Rob Zombie, as I said, he clearly wanted to show us all the things that were that we were just told about as backstory for in the original Halloween film, and as a result, it's a good build up. It's kind of a more... I don't want to say it's a more interesting build up per se, but I think once you've seen a lot of teen slasher movies, the build-up retrospectively looking at it in the original Halloween movie is kind of just pandering. Whereas in this one, in Rob Zombie's one, there's a lot to take in. There's, you're paying attention a lot more stringently than you might be if you were just sitting down and watching the old film, And I think a lot of that is that he probably wanted to go ahead and explore all these notions that were only hinted at before.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the film is spent dealing with the relationship.
Pretty interesting question. Do you think it was a bit cliche to do the whole bad family, bad person thing? I don't necessarily, but just worth asking.
I think that it highlighted something that would have already happened anyway. And I think that it probably would have taken too long to explain how, if it had been a more loving family, they could have something like Michael could have happened. It
Yeah.
probably would have taken too long to go down that route. It'd be a film in and of itself if they were a happy-go-lucky family.
Because
it's far quicker.
That's an interesting point, because it is the first half of it. Actually, both halves of the movie do seem. It's like there were two whole movies that were chopped in half, and kind of just smashed together.
To a degree, I mean, he wanted to show the evolution. Like I said, he wanted to show the psychology, show the development of this killer. Having the dysfunctional family, having the fairly abusive.
It was a much more direct route to the participating factors that brought to the psychosis.
Yeah, and
yes.
it's quicker for the audience to grasp, unlike my explanation.
That was a lot of fucking big words right there out of me.
Well done.
Thanks. Usually I'm the short word guy.
Yeah, but as I was saying, one of the things that's really played upon in the first half of the film, because let's face it, we do have to take it in halves, really.
I always view the first film as two short films.
Yeah, to a degree. But one of the main things that's really built and that is missing from John Carpenter's one is the development of the relationship between Loomis and Mike. You see that Loomis is trying his best to try and help, to try and get through to this kid. At first, Mike is adamant that he actually didn't do anything. And it's only after a while that he slowly starts to accept it. And with that, I think he doesn't really start accepting things until he starts making these masks for himself. Clearly, he feels...
Oh, but the thing with the masks are, he's not even accepting things. That's him building up this wall.
Yeah. But he's willing to accept... Once the mask is on, he's willing to accept that he did the deeds. But at the same time, the innocence of the child is what's behind the mask and hidden away. That's why he'll only take it off at times when his mother is around. She's the only one that he allows to see what he used to be. Everyone else gets Michael
2.0.
Yeah, gets this creature that's being built, that's being created. In this, they've gone from the turmoil of the domestic environment to a now very strict, regimented, almost sterile environment.
Yeah.
And you still get the evolution of this creature, except now it's had triggers, it's had its taste of blood, so it's far enough along that no amount of therapy is going to fucking make this thing go away. It's there. All you can do now is manage it. And to be perfectly honest...
That's what Loomis wants to do. He was like, even in the second movie, if you remember, he was like, all you had to do was keep the monkey locked in the monkey house till it got old and died.
But that's exactly what I'm getting to. The first half of the movie, that's the realization that Loomis eventually comes to. Over the course of it, we see how he's trying to get through to Mike. He sees how it's not happening. He sees this creature evolving in front of him, and he eventually just goes, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. It's been 15 years, man. I can't. I think at this stage, like, Mike's mother...
we're after getting some cool things donated by Alessandra Coppola.
Okay.
For the set.
Do we have to do this now while we're in the middle of... Yeah. That is actually pretty cool.
Isn't it pretty cool? Thank you, Ali. We will take them.
They're awesome.
We do have to do it now, because that was a very nice thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Appreciate it. Anywho.
Yeah. There's a couple of alterations that Rob Zombie takes to speed up the evolution of Mike in the first half of the film, such as what happens with Mama Myers.
Yeah.
She goes for a visit, and it's all happy-go-lucky. She leaves the room. A nurse comes in. The nurse is a bit of a bitch.
Well, it's not all happy-go-lucky, because he's not even being responsive to the mother at that stage. I know he's sitting in there without the mask on, but the mother's trying to talk to him, and he's just like, I want to get out of here. And he's just messing with the food.
Yeah.
And then, so there is a bit of a preluding thing. It does seem all happy families because he's got the mask off and they're all sitting down having dinner. But I think there's an underlying tone to him that isn't ordinarily there during the visits with the mother that you see to slowly creep in.
Yeah. Whew. Which obviously goes fucking kablooey when the nurse decides to make a smart arse remark.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take a lot to trigger him. Now, the thing with him is, up until he gets older, you do actually need to trigger him. There needs to be something there for him to, like the kid in the school was him getting ready to show the mother's stripper photo all over the school.
To be fair,
the father, I mean, fuck him, man. He deserved to get stabbed to death. The sister, to a certain extent. Now, as I said, doesn't need to be a big trigger, but it's a trigger. Do you know what I mean? She didn't bring him out doing the trick or treating. She gives him
There's
a lot more.
There's an interesting thing as well that works into how the evolution of the bad teen killer happened. Because if you know, like, she ditched him just to go up and have sex with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
So now in his mind,
Even the boyfriend kind of feels sorry for him a little bit. He's like, sorry, squirt.
But like even in his mind now, you know this stuff. This is
Teenage girls are dickheads.
Yeah, this is a marker of a bad person. They go off and they'll fucking have sex willy nilly and all the rest of it. And it's kind of like you can see an evolution start, but it's not until that incident that incident with the nurse when his mother really sees it.
Yeah.
And then she takes a measure of her own, and after that, it's like he's got no one.
Yeah.
Except Loomis, and then 15 years.
Like Loomis was right what he said in it, where he was like, for 50 years I've been his father figure.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's been his only figure.
Yeah, and after 15 years of it, Loomis has come to that conclusion we were getting to a while ago, whereby nothing can be done. All we can do is just lock him up and hopefully
that boy
he'll
is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
We are never letting this monster out. Lock and key, down you go. What's cool is we have Danny Trejo as a janitor in it, and he's kind of like...
in a very on-Danny Trejo kind of role.
I didn't think so. I thought it was very him. You know, the big tough guy that's willing to be nice to a kid.
No, but usually in movies, he's the big tough guy that cuts people's heads off and things like that.
True. But
that's what I mean.
We do get the...
I don't mean as in he was wrong for the role. I mean, it's just not...
We do get the impression that he might have hurt people in the past. He actually passed the comment of he knows what it's like to be locked behind walls.
Yeah.
It's, you know...
he's the reformed bad guy.
What's interesting is, in the original films, I think Loomis makes a point about how Myers lived in his own head and, you know...
This was one of the things I said earlier that she needs to keep a point on, that Rob Zombie's an absolute... there's so many little tips to the original films, and it's done in such a way that you wouldn't notice it, but they're actually written into the script. So he's telling Michael, going, look, kid, I know it's really hard. I've been locked behind bars and stuff like that before. You just need to look outside of the walls and imagine what you want to do. And he pretty much says word for word what Loomis said was one of the scariest things about Michael Myers in the original Carpenter version.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, because it's kind of like, well, that explains how he learned to do that one. Yeah, basically...
Oh, we're getting loads of donations and stuff. Paddy's giving us a little Jason pop-up. Thanks, dude.
Oh,
we'll take that, too. I'm going to have to build a shelf now.
I'm kind of having a little bit of...
That's not behind us. We'll figure that out in a later date.
Nice.
Or we could do a little... Cool. We could do a little front set. Layering.
Let's talk.
Sorry, anyway, Halloween.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for all the...
Yeah.
Thank you.
As I said, 15 years later, Loomis has gone... I'm out of here.
Understandably so in his defence.
Yeah. Now, funnily enough, Danny Trejo has only got 3 months left, and he's training in some new twat.
Who's a dickhead?
Oh, it's the only way we can put it. Typical fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, he's a twat. But one of the first things he does is try to take the piss out of Mike, to which Danny Trejo kind of warns him, don't touch his masks.
Yeah. And then he does this typical dickhead thing when he's like, why the fuck would I touch his mask? Sorry. Bites or Sicorsa thought about kaiju. We'll read that out at the end of the show.
But so he's only got 3 months left. Now, basically, this twathead has the night shift. Oh no, actually, there's another guy that has the night shift. That's it, and it's his cousin.
We are actually going to have to. I just looked at the time. We're going to have to start. Not like hurrying up, but otherwise we'll be still on when the show plays. Anyway.
There's the twat that Danny Trejo trained in. But then there's another one.
Martin Green, legend.
But then there's another one who's working the night shift. Now, the two of them are lecherous kids, and the night shift guy gets your man back in and tells him there's this one if you want to have a hop offer. And your man thinks it'd be a great idea to bring down and basically do her in Mike's room.
Now, Paddy mentioned earlier, I've kept it quiet because it was for now that he actually hates the scene because he's like, why the fuck? If you know what the guy is, why would you do that? And I do, to a certain degree, agree that it's absolutely stupid that he does it, but he's just that kind of dickhead.
And he doesn't know what the fuck Mike is because he clearly didn't grasp it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's obvious that these people have no fucking clue. The last guy that had a clue was Danny, and he's off for the night. You know? Loomis is gone. Most of the people there, you know, like you mentioned earlier, what's the big guy in for? Who fucking... Yeah. He's been here forever. Just keep him locked up. It's all well and good.
The thing with Danny Trejo, because Danny's been there since he was a kid, is Danny's seen the crazy
evolution.
Danny has he's seen the evolution, and because Michael hasn't killed anybody in a lot of time because he's been locked up. Danny's seen your man. He saw the kid kill the nurse.
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of shit. So Danny has a slight better grasping of it, whereas the two hillbilly motherfuckers
just go in and act like idiots and fucking rape your one and start It's not until he grabs a mask that Mike gets up and kind of and then Mike proceeds to make the two of them realise why they were very, 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 very stupid.
Very, 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 very stupid. I mean, like it was absolute stupidity. Bring it, like if you're going to rape your one, rape your one. I don't know why you bring her into. I'm not agreeing with the rape, sorry, but just why you bring her in to the room with the crazy serial killer is beyond me.
Because
I do get, but he's just that much of a dick.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is.
He's just that much of a dick.
They both are, the two of them, and they get exactly what they deserve.
Well,
a good swift slap of a Mike Myers.
I do feel it's more the guy that gets called in's fault, because the other guy just seems to be like his little crony who just does whatever he's told.
Look, they're both at fucking fault, and as I said, they both get a well-deserved slap of a mic.
Maybe it turned him on more. Maybe it did burn, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's fucking stupid.
I didn't actually want to bring up the fact that I understand exactly the psychology for what they did.
Yes, but you might get off on something like that, but you are not thick enough to fucking do it.
There's that.
There's the difference. Because you were like, if it was a leprechaun kind of thing, maybe, I might, it's something that you are bigger than, that you can manhandle around the place. I'm trying to think monsters and stuff. Anyway, you don't go and fuck someone in front of the man mountain that can pick you up and throw you through a window like a lawn dart.
Funnily enough, as I said, they would have gotten away with it if they weren't stupid enough to go
for those pesky kids.
If they weren't stupid enough to go down and pick up his mask. To do exact. And so, naturally enough, door is open, Mike is out. What's he going to do? He's going to go kill all the other fuckers that pissed him off over the years. Like every other member of the fucking hospital.
And then there's the heartbreaking death of Danny Trejo.
Yeah. I was good to you, Mikey.
Don't care.
Good to you.
Don't care. Did you let me out? No, you didn't. Drown, you motherfucker.
Followed by a slap of a TV.
Oh, I forgot about the TV.
Coup de grace.
Coup de grace. Because not unlike real life, you can't kill fucking Danny Trejo very easily. He was drowning him for fucking ages.
Yeah.
He had him in for a good 30, 40 seconds. Nope, they're just fucking drown him again.
Somewhat reminiscent of the original Halloween 2 with your one in the hot bath.
Yes, I was going to point that out. There's a lot of...
There are a lot of homages.
We'll wait till we get after the movie.
Yeah.
The movies for that. Yeah. Okay, so
anyway, Mike is out, and how does he...
It pretty much... The Rob Zombie's Halloween movie, once it gets into the latter part of the Halloween movie, is actually relatively close to the John Carpenter original.
Yeah, from that point on...
So Loomis gets a call.
Yeah. Freaks the fuck out, naturally.
What's the German actor's name? Hans...
Your man from Das Boot?
Yeah, and he was in Werewolf Chicks of the SS. No, not Dieter. No, I can't remember any of it. He's like an evil German guy in anything that has an evil German guy in it.
Yeah, a lot of the times. But he's in charge of the mental institute, and he's going mental himself because he wants to blame Loomis for why he's pet serial.
Well, you never told us how much security we were going to need.
To which Loomis responds with part about the
monkey house.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have to say it again?
I always thought you were going to.
All you had to do was keep the monkey in the monkey house until the monkey got old and died. Jesus, you goddamn shirt tuckers.
Yeah. Leaves in
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Fucking ledge.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much from that point on, the film progresses almost at times scene for scene the exact same way that John Carpenter's original Halloween film progresses. There are
You do get a bit more of the dog.
The dog?
He physically eats a dog.
That's in the second one.
Is it?
Yeah. He's living off the land.
I thought it came up in the first one as well. Okay, sorry, I was wrong. Okay, never mind. Udo Kier, good as shit. Martin Green.
Cheers, Martin.
Thank you.
Dieter. What the fuck? I don't know. But as I said,
here's your man from fucking Human Centipede.
The rest of the film progresses more or less the way that the first film did. You have, you have Brad Dourif, if anything, being an even more skeptical sheriff. And by that I mean an actually skeptical sheriff. Because while in the first one it was kind of like, you can read between the lines, you can tell he's humouring him. In this one, Brad Dourif, he's the sheriff, he's kind of like, are you fucking for real, man?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he still does the infamous line of "Death has come to Haddonfield," and he's like, "Okay, whatever,
whatever."
Yeah,
fine.
crazy,
man.
We're gonna hit trailer 1. Yeah, we're nearly finished trailer. We're nearly finished 1. Excuse me. So we'll hit trailer 1, and then we'll finish the end of number 1 and roll on into number 2. Zombie time.
Tonight's brutal murders was described by police as Manson-like in its viciousness. 3 people brutally murdered and a 10-year-old boy being held in custody.
You haven't said a word for 15 years.
This summer, Rob Zombie unleashes a unique vision of a legendary tale.
Listen, be careful tonight. A lot of nutcases come out on Halloween.
Is the boogeyman real? Why are you so obsessed with the boogeyman, Tommy? Halloween night, the boogeyman attacks kids who don't believe.
Oh no, Tommy. Boogeyman's gonna get me.
I'm gonna cut that mask right off your face.
He's come back for his baby sister. To do what?
Hands like lightning. If you only knew, TV world. If you only knew.
I'm not going to lie, that may have been a new record. Anyway.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that after what I said. Now that just puts a whole weird twist in it.
Only because you brought it up. So as I said, the rest of Rob Zombie's Halloween movie progresses more or less. It's it's more or less.
It's a lot more in depth to the death of Annie.
She doesn't die.
Well, into the.
Yeah. In this case, Annie isn't killed. She's left as bait. Like, no, seriously, she's left as bait.
I'm not disagreeing with you. That was a laugh of fantastic.
Yeah, to lure Laurie over.
Genius. There's
various corpses strewn around the house. Laurie has to kind of. She gets out of the house fairly quick. I liked how she gets to a window at one point. It's a locked door and she just picks up a chair straight away.
Yeah.
Straight through.
She's a survivor.
But
it's like she knew she was going to make it through to the second movie.
Does the end?
The ending happens pretty much the exact same way, except some cops actually get into the house, which didn't happen in the original one.
Yeah.
They get absolutely fucked up. Well, one of them gets absolutely fucked up. Then Loomis shoots Michael Myers, who tried to pull his mask off to Laurie, and he shoots him 3 times in the chest, not 6.
Did he try to take his mask off to Laurie in the Rob Zombie one, or is it?
He actually did it in both.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He then kidnaps Laurie, if you remember correctly.
Yeah. Because he's walking back to them. He's heading back to the Myers house with her. That's it.
He's heading back to the Myers house. He gets her back to the Myers house.
Yeah, and we have the scene with the grave marker, and it's the drunken friend's body is laid out in front of the Myers grave marker.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
The slutty one, who isn't actually slutty. Although she says she's not slutty, although all you ever hear her talking about is banging people, and most of the time she's naked asleep or something.
Yeah.
So,
and then you have Mike showing the picture of himself. And
Mike showing the picture of himself where you're kind of like, it's kind of like, Michael's friend. And then
Laurie going, no, knife.
No, she stabs him.
Yeah.
Which leads for a strange dynamic, because if she just could have taken a second to go, that baby kind of looks a little bit familiar. Might have been a whole different thing. It could have been hugs. Life would be grand.
There was a mad fight throughout the entirety of the Myers house after that. It's just
Loomis gets inside.
Yeah.
Loomis gets Kona crushed, where Michael just grabs him by the face and just...
Doesn't kill him.
Doesn't kill him. He
Just
probably thought he
hurts
did kill him.
Really, really bad.
815. I don't know what's going on there now. I've lost track. Then Loomis or Michael's chasing Laurie. Laurie gets away. Loomis grabs onto Michael's leg. Michael just steps over him. And then they get out the front of the house and he gets shot a lot.
That's it. He gets out the front of the house, gets shot. It's Laurie that puts the final...
shoots him straight in the face.
Yeah, and then the end of it is her...
Obviously not straight in the face.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, the end is her covered in blood and screaming.
That's pretty much it. End of her covered in blood screaming. Which then movie 2 picks up with her walking up the street covered in blood screaming.
Yeah, pretty much.
I killed him!
Much like with the original film.
I killed him! The police sheriff is very calm considering his daughter's getting hauled off to hospital.
She's still alive and the others aren't. Best of a bad situation.
Yeah, true. Cracking trailer. I think there was a legal issue where Carpenter won't be allowed zombie to use 16 seconds of the theme song. Madness.
So the second film, Laurie's in the hospital, and it's kind of interesting because the second film is, how can we put this? All aboard the crazy train!
Yes, this is where it gets a little bit crazy. Not a little bit crazy. Well, it starts off a little bit crazy, and then it gets progressively crazy.
I, until recently watching it, had never actually seen the second film while sober. So as a result, there was a lot of times, he even said it, there's a lot of this stuff that you think might have just been in your head because you were out of your gourd at the time, but nope, you really saw it and he was right.
Yeah.
There was stuff that I went, holy crap, that's actually in the film.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is that Zombie decided, you know what, I am going to go all out and go into the psycho trip of it and fucking...
But not even the psycho trip. It's technically... This is... it's why I have a love-hate relationship with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Which is because he does... Storyline-wise, he technically does a better job because he goes... Hear me out now. He technically does a better job because he goes ahead and he proper fleshes out the characters, as in there's repercussions of what happened Laurie from movie 1 now affecting her in movie 2.
Yeah.
You can see when you speak to Annie, she's sliced up in fucking places. She's got scars and stuff like that. Laurie's gone off the fucking rails now. Kind of understand.
Loomis is a prick.
Loomis has taken...
I like Loomis in the first one.
Yeah, Loomis has done a full 180 where he's just decided to cash in on the Michael Myers shtick now.
Which is what happens in the 3 or 4 in the original series, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy mental... there's a lot of crazy... The psychic link between Laurie and Michael Myers becomes a lot more... Well, not apparent, but a lot more prevalently used.
Yeah, this is going to be getting into that thing that I had wanted to say earlier. What's interesting is this. Once again, you can almost look at it. Well, I suppose not necessarily in two parts, but
in comparison to the first movie, where it was kind of first half of the movie, original movie, and then
second half.
Second half was the Halloween remake.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, it's the first half of the movie.
Not even the first half, but the first maybe half an hour.
First half an hour of it is Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween 2 remake. And then it goes into Rob Zombie's
version of
the Halloween universe.
Yeah.
Post Halloween 1960, whatever.
Yeah, we're never... I haven't been given a year in the Rob Zombie one. I'm just assuming that it's around the 60s or 70s.
No, I feel like it's actually even modernised up a little bit more because the style of clothes and stuff like that, they don't really seem very 60s.
They seem kind of 70s-ish. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. It could be because all that 70s shit's reviving now as well, so it's making the 70s look like the current. Mad shite.
The first half hour of the second Halloween movie is basically the hospital fight.
This is opening a can of worms.
Probably. Yeah, the hospital thing is more or less kind of the nod to the second Halloween movie in that, you know, that's the remake part. After that, as I said, Zombie decides to go on his own little, whereby it's 2 years later. Laurie is now living with the sheriff and Annie, in a relationship with Annie.
Who she now calls Dad.
Does she?
Yeah. She's like, thanks, Dad. No, it would have been sarcastic.
Yeah.
She's in a relationship with Annie?
I thought.
No.
That's how Lois Lane describes it. Oh, her psychiatrist is Lois Lane.
Yeah. No, it's like they're in a relationship. But
she actually says, how's your relationship with Annie?
Yeah, that you're like if someone was having
okay.
Like if I had gone complaining to someone about you were wrecking my head or something, and then 3 weeks later, they're like, oh, how's your relationship with kids getting on? Oh, we've stopped.
All right,
each other.
okay, fine.
No, it wouldn't be, because that would mean she's banging her stepsister.
There's nothing there. That was her friend that she moved in with.
Yeah, but now she's adopted, isn't she?
No.
Okay, I thought she got adopted.
No. Her adopted family gets whacked in the
first I know that.
And then she got...
Which is contrary to the first movie, John Carpenter's movie.
She got a surrogate family.
Surrogate family. Okay, yeah. That's fair enough. Foster family, that's the word.
Ish, yeah. And it's really like they're going to college, so, you know. Anyway, it's 2 years later, the story progresses. Laurie is dealing with basically all the madness from 2 years ago. And to be perfectly honest, I think her own underlying mental issues, which I strongly feel are familial in their origins.
Go on.
Alright, I have a theory whereby the entire Myers line is actually, there's like a genetic predisposition towards being crazy. And before you say it, the mother, it's crazy.
The mother's the loving mother. There's no fucking crazy there.
No, it skips generations sometimes. Plus, if you look at it...
So if it's skipping a generation and the mother seems normal by the fact that she's hooked up with Dick, then the daughter should be crazy, not Michael.
Yeah. And how do we know the daughter wasn't going to get there? Just because it's strong, just because the crazy happens to be a little bit stronger on the old Y chromosome, doesn't mean it's not there on the double A. You know.
It's an interesting. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that
it would the only.
You're going out of movie.
But I'm not. Laurie is in fucking therapy. She has hallucinations. The exact same fucking hallucinations as Mike.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I know you might think that might just be the fucking...
It's the psychic link.
Or
the mychic link, as I like to call it.
Or it could be a genetic fucking insanity trait.
Okay, seeing as there's people watching, what do you guys think? Genetics or magic? It's not magic, it's like a psychic link, but just for the sake of speediness, genetics or magic? I'm saying it like our new American horror promo. They're like, genetics or magic?
The only thing that
I would actually have the same idea as Giz on that. That's Ali, nature versus nurture debate about the crazy status. Okay. It is the same kind of thing with Daniel Harris in the original series. Yeah. That's just some of what people said.
Okay, fair.
Ali agrees with you.
Yay! The second film clearly shows Laurie's rapidly deteriorating mental state.
I'm not disputing that, but I feel that they're all a byproduct of the events from movie one. They're not exclusively down to the fact that her mum's got the crazy gene.
Then explain the occasional epileptic murder fits.
Magic. No, it's the...
Psychosis.
Yeah, no, but
it's suppressed rage. Let's not forget, one of the key elements about this film is the notion of rage. That whole white horse deal. It even makes a fucking point to saying it at the beginning of it, that is, when you see a white horse in dreams, it's supposed to be a euphemism for suppressed rage and stuff. That's why there's the scene at the start where Mama Voorhees gives Mike the white horse and he says that he saw her in a vision.
I had to find that quote. Give me a minute.
It's at the very start of the film.
Yeah, I know, but I can't bring up the film here now.
Okay, fair enough. But there's the scene at the beginning where
I'm aware of the quote. It's not that I don't.
Yeah, I know. There's a scene at the beginning whereby it's Mrs. Myers and she's visiting Mike when he's still in the sanatorium, and she's brought him a toy horse and it's white, and he says how he had a dream, and she was in the dream next to a white horse and she looked like a beautiful ghost.
Yeah.
And this is the image that is...
Okay, White Horse linked to instinct, purity, and the drive of the physical body to release powerful and emotional forces like rage with ensuing chaos and destruction. Excerpt from the subconscious psychosis of dreams. But I saw in another review that people have tried to establish is that an actual book, and there's no fact. I'm not taking away from...
Hang on a second. Whether or not it's a fact or not, the film sets the premise and the notion, which means that as far as
I was just saying it wasn't a real book, just in case anyone went looking for the book. Yeah. I agree that it's in the storyline, so it counts.
Which gets back to the point that she's seeing it as well.
Yes.
So whatever about spooky magic, you know, it could realistically be. I mean, as I said, there are the epileptic psycho killer
I still feel that it's more the events from movie 1 affecting her in movie 2, and then the unveiling of the fact that she's actually Michael Myers' sister, which
happens
her
at a fucking horrible time.
Oh, a horrible time, which basically
Loomis
puts her...
is a dick.
It also leads to one of the stupidest fucking scenes. Oh, I just hate that car drive with "Am I evil? Yes, I am." Like the tune, great tune, but it's just kind of like, oh, just hit the fucking nail on the head, why don't you? I'm Michael Myers' sister. Am I evil? Yes, I am. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. Am I evil? And then
that was the cop that he said.
Yeah. And then she meets her sexy little friend with the glasses, and she's like, I don't know who I am. I'm me, but I'm not me. But I'm me, but I'm not me. So her
and her other sexy friend that wants to dress as Frankenfurter.
So her crazy...
See, I would have gotten it.
The crazy interpretation, it might just hit puberty. That was movie 1, and it hit it hard. 5.5 feet. That's how hard he hit. 5.5 feet. That's how hard he hit puberty.
And 3 across.
Yeah. So I feel that there's a lot of triggers through movie 2 that are byproducts of movie 1 that I think are leading into it, and the fact that Mike's got the psychic link. I do like your theory.
I agree, but it gets back to the old notion that Mike was going to happen anyway. The environment sped it up. Laurie was going to happen anyway. Circumstances sped it up.
Okay.
The same way, you know. But as I said, the second film does mainly focus on her descent into
absolute batshit madness.
Yeah, while at the same time, Mike, who has been pretty much living rough in the wilds, eating dead dog every now and then, I'm perhaps the odd person. Well, no, it seems he's strictly a dog man.
We're just putting stuff into people's mouths now. Yeah, no. He did eat the dog, which in movie 1 of John Carpenter...
Unfortunately, hang on a second, which, to be fair, supports your notion of the mental link, because when he's eating the dog, Laurie is eating her vegetarian pizza and starts throwing up, which kind of gives us the idea that perhaps she's getting the taste of dead dog in her mouth.
Well, it's something... It was never fully played into during the Halloween franchise about the psychic link, but it was there, if you get me. Movie 3 especially. Movie 3 especially, where he pretty much mind puppeted the girl around the place. It was Michael Myers in a 9-year-old girl's body. But yeah, it was never officially told, and I think I love the way that Zombie picked up on it, because it seems to be a lot more prevalent.
It certainly explains how he's able to hone in on her from every...
He's got that Jason sensing.
This is gonna be one of those times where I'm going to have to say no, this was a bad thing. He goes from a party where basically Laurie, after flipping the bean, her 2 friends, one of them she doesn't have to convince because she was heading out anyway.
Yeah.
But she convinced them, I need to go party, so they go off that Halloween bash. He basically, being Mike...
Best fucking Halloween party in fucking history.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to do the Rocky Horror Picture Show so bad.
Anyway, he's able to track them down. He's able to commit a little bit of a foreplay murder, I'm starting to call them, I think. Because he's setting...
Yeah.
Because, it's like setting the table. But he's able to do that, right?
Yeah.
And then...
I like that, yeah.
But then, he's able to get from that party... Okay, I suppose we're not showing how much time has passed, but it's like instantaneous fucking travel. He's at the house, the sheriff's house, where Annie is fucking staying, where the sheriff has a cop sitting up. He told the cop to go and watch over his daughter. The cop said, what if she kicks me out like she did last time? He responds, then you sit on the fucking porch with a shotgun like you did last time.
Yeah, because Annie's got some teeth since movie 1.
No, she always had an attitude.
Oh yeah, I know, but she's got a serious fucking attitude now. She's more. Strangely enough, herself and Laurie have like swapped roles. Because Annie's now the studious one who stays in and doesn't go out partying or anything, and Laurie's the one that's out with her 3 friends, fucking ripping the town up to bits.
To be fair, Laurie did just have a bit of a nervous breakdown after a bunch of partial.
I wasn't
psychotic
I
incidents.
wasn't disagreeing with her change of character. I was just saying it's funny how the events of movie 1 swapped them basically.
Getting back to Jason's or Mike's instant transmission. See, Jason Mike even. Remember you were on about Mike like posing behind trees and stuff? There is a part, right? I shit you not, because it's cool the way it's done. Because I was watching, right?
Yeah.
Lawboy walks down from the sheriff's house where Annie is after giving him a bit of a scalding.
Lawboy, I love it.
Well, I don't know what the fuck his name is. I just know that he's one of the Lawboys. Anyway, he's walking down. Now, there's a tree, and you're seeing him in silhouette with the lights from the house backlighting him, right?
Yeah.
Now, you can see a car or something parked off, and I was watching over by the car, expecting to see a shadow moving in, right? Instead, much like what you were saying a while ago, where it's kind of like hiding behind a tree, Mike just kind of like walks out from behind a tree. That if you're the Lawboy, you like that angle. How did you not see him? The hell! So it's just maybe he's blended in with the tree and just whoof, and off with the Lawboy's head, I think. Or he did something to the Lawboy. Yeah, and actually I think
spun it the wrong way around.
Yeah, that was it. But gets like I suppose that is a point in your favour in regards to the mental link thing. But at the same time, I still think it was
perhaps Laurie is really just a short twin, so they have the twin thing going on. Well, considering he's 10 and Laurie's a little baby.
Yeah, like 2
little baby.
Yeah. So I don't think the twin thing.
I don't think the twin thing goes on unless his mother's got some sort of magic womb, which I'm sure she does, because it's Sherry Moon.
Anyway, what?
Oh, that salivating lip noise is disgusting.
Over the course of the second film, Mike, once he gets to town and once Halloween, it's like a countdown to Halloween almost. You know, once that clock goes down, all the crazy goes boom. Which is accentuated by the fact that Laurie once again returns to a house of dead Annie.
Dead Annie, where she's actually dead this time.
Yeah.
Dead as a fucking doornail.
Yeah, this time if you ask Annie, are you okay? The response is, cute friend in the glasses.
Dead.
Well, no, not initially. They find Annie and Laurie says, quick, call 911, call
police.
Fucking everything.
Yeah. She goes to call the police, and the police thing doesn't work.
Yeah, because slap of a mic. Oh.
Slap of a mic. We're going to cut to trailer 2 now, and then we'll come back and finish it off. That's cool. It's a 2-hour show. It's not like it's okay. There's 4 movies.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
And a lot of craziness to fill you in on afterwards.
I killed him.
Who'd you kill, sweetie? Who'd you kill?
Nurse? Hello? Is anybody here?
He's dead. He's dead.
You've witnessed the birth of evil.
Are you a giant?
Now, the secret behind his madness.
blood can bring us together again.
No, there's no one out here.
We are all counting on you to take us home this year. Now go have some fun.
On August 28th,
Evil is here. It's walking amongst us. Michael is more evolved.
Rob Zombie
I'm not strong enough.
completes his extreme vision of a terrifying legend.
Kill her, baby.
Welcome back.
Something relaxing to get us ready for the end of Halloween 2. Because we're about to get into a whole fucking pile of crazy right now.
Yeah.
We might mix the end of Halloween 2 in with our comparative because they kind of tie in together anyway.
Yeah. Basically, the end of Halloween 2 is, as I said, Mike hits the house, grabs Laurie. Oh no, she gets away and goes running and he tracks her down and then grabs her. Yeah. Picking up and lifting a car in the process at one point. That was brilliant.
She gets picked up by Mouse from
Mouse?
Matrix.
Oh, all right. Jesus, I was like...
And he's also in People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff. The end of... Over the course of the movie, Loomis is basically going through his own personal hell, whereby his book tour is going horribly wrong, or maybe it's going horribly right, it all depends.
It's not really going horribly wrong. He's a horrible person now,
Yeah.
and it doesn't help that he can't stop being a horrible person on camera.
So when the news that Mike Myers is alive and well and taken a hostage, you know, well, to be fair, Loomis's arse was already in gear once he realised he was alive and well, and he was back in Haydenfield.
By the end of it, he starts coming back to the Loomis we know and love a little bit, but
I think it's guilt.
I think the motivation's also there going, if I manage to fucking look like a superhero for saving them the first time, maybe if I save her the second time, I look like a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
Like Silver Surfer.
Loomis arrives on to what is basically, for all intents and purposes, a siege hostage situation.
Yeah.
The law is surrounded the cabin. Laurie's inside there having all kinds of mental fits.
Yeah. She's being held by Michael, which we don't know if she's actually been held by Michael or being held by the imaginary hallucination of baby Michael, who has her kneeling down in front of the mother that she's never actually seen properly, screaming, "Mommy, I love you. Mommy, I love you. Mommy, I love you." Then Loomis comes into the barn. Then Jason, there's this just unbearably long silence, not unlike the slow motion killing scene from House of a Thousand Corpses, you know, and the initial reveal of the girl in the shed. Just this unbearably long silence, and then Tyler Main wrecks the barn and comes straight through the door with Loomis.
Through a wall.
Through a wall. Yeah, big wooden wall.
At the side of, and then proceeds to...
It is a vine wall, but there's no barn in English.
Not by the time he's done with it.
No. It's more of a gazebo.
Loomis's last final act of... only act. Well, no, I can't say only act, because he was pretty heroic in the first one.
Yeah. He was all about saving people in the first movie, and then money and fame got to him.
Yeah. But, it's... I can never remember the end of films. Why can I never remember the end?
Michael, they're out, surrounded by the cops. Michael slams Loomis and he stands up and then screams, "Die!" into Loomis's face and stabs him in the stomach.
And then the law opens
up. Then the law open up and shoot him. Then Laurie gets told to go by the mother and she goes outside and she picks up the knife and she's about to stab Loomis and then she gets shot by the law, where I think she dies.
She doesn't. I don't think she does.
I think she dies. I think the big white halls... I think the big white halls of the crazy house and the reappearance of the ever-looming mother on the white horse is her dead.
I think it's her in the sanitarium, and she has now got the exact same kind of madness that drove her brother to be a killing machine.
Yes, but those walls she's sitting in are exceptionally white compared to the normal sanitarium which we've seen throughout the rest of the movie.
You mean the one with the lax security that allowed Mike to get out?
Yes.
Why the fuck would anyone let her go in there?
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about saying... You see, the thing you'll notice with hospitals, from experience of a short movie I shot because I had to buy the same tiling as a dentist's place, they all have the same lino and things like that. There's a generic thing that they all buy. They all buy it from the one place. There's like 4 different colours. That's it. This was all white. Unnaturally white.
Okay. As I said, I still think that she survived at the end and she's just cuckoo.
I also think she died because she's had no preluding hint to the fact that she's able to take bullets like a Myers.
Well, to be fair, she did have multiple life-threatening injuries from the first film.
What? She got stabbed. Okay, you can stitch that up fairly easily.
Did you see the surgery that she's supposed to be going under at the start of the second one?
That's on the leg because she fucking...
The hand is pretty much fucking...
Yeah, but nothing's killing her.
Together.
Yeah, but this is all... Michael Myers would have just got up.
Yeah.
So...
Physically, Michael Myers is a bigger guy.
Yeah, so I feel physically getting shot repeatedly in the chest by fucking multiple police officers is going to affect Laurie a lot more than it's going to affect Michael. Or Angel now, she's calling herself.
I'm not saying she'd be getting up walking around, but I'm saying she'd still be alive.
This brings us in to...
Let's face it, there were ambulances on the scene.
I still think she's dead. We'll agree to disagree because it doesn't actually get explained in the film. This is where it brings us into the strange genius behind Rob Zombie's Halloween movies.
In
that, like, I think the reason people didn't like them initially was that movie 2 completely... They didn't like movie 1 with the portrait of a serial killer bit at the start because I feel like it was like 2 movies smashed together. Then in movie 2, where normally Laurie Strode was now defined as the final lady, you know, virginal, good and stuff. Now, where they've gone deeper into Laurie and the effects of movie 1 affecting her in movie 2 and all the crazy shit that's happening to her. But due to this, you're not actually getting what is the Halloween movie anymore. As characters go, they're much more developed and fleshed out because it's real life repercussions of events that happened.
Yeah.
But you're now not getting a Halloween movie.
I think what you're getting is a more in-depth look at what...
Zombie has mommy issues. Fucking tell me about it.
I think what you're getting is a more in-depth look at the mechanisms for turning anyone from normal into being...
Yes, I completely agree with you.
Pants.
I just said that. But now because he's done that, you don't have a Halloween movie anymore.
I was getting to...
Okay.
Yeah. You know, you have that...
It's a more developed Halloween movie, but now it's not.
At the end of the day...
It's not like Halloween canon.
Look, at the end of the day, John Carpenter's Halloween movies are not fucking sit down and think about much. They're sit down, munch bunch of popcorn, watch kids get killed. You know, that's it.
We'll say teenagers because watching kids get killed makes us sound
sorry,
very
teenagers.
bad.
You know what I fucking mean.
Because teenagers doesn't make us sound bad at all. Everyone hates teenagers.
But look, my point being, right, the original Halloween movies are brain candy. You sit down, you watch them, you enjoy them. You know, there's no deep thought being put into it.
It's why I love the Rob Zombie movies, is because you're getting this fully fleshed out thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
On the whole, and you know I'm being serious now because I said on the whole and didn't laugh. It's gone askew from...
It's not about going askew from.
Yeah.
It's about what the fuck audiences are willing to sit down and actually enjoy. And it gets back...
people weren't willing to sit down and enjoy it.
It gets back to the same fucking argument that we always end up having, which is, for some strange and God's unknown reason, when it comes down to
audience here, I know this.
When it comes down to films, for some strange and unknown reason, the vast fucking majority of people will rather go ahead and watch a brainless, popcorn-munching horror movie, right? And I'm on about the general masses here, right? They'd rather go ahead and do that than sit down and actually watch a film that
gives his views on the Gorecast, specifically gives us alone that do not respect the views of the Gorecast. Anyway.
Rather than sitting down and actually watching a film that might actually make them have to think about a couple of things. And yeah, okay, Rob Zombie went off the fucking crazy ball a lot, and you did have to put a lot of thought into it. But he did.
But he didn't.
At the end of the day, what you're looking at is a case of brain candy versus food for thought. Most people would rather have brain candy.
It's like technically Rob Zombie's Halloweens are a pile of crap, but technically they're not.
But they're not a pile of crap. They're not.
It just doesn't compute from one to the other.
It does, as long as you're willing to accept the fact that not everyone has the same fucking appetite when it comes to movies.
Everybody doesn't. This is what I was trying to explain earlier. It's
Yeah, which is why I'm saying old Halloween brain candy, new Halloween food for thought. Not everyone is willing to fucking have food for thought.
There is some
They'd rather just munch on brain candy.
There is some batshit crazy stuff in there, but it's
accepted.
Except that if you technically go back through Halloweens, it's not that batshit crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking mental, but technically, it's actually correct.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's pretty much everyone's reaction to. I think people were taken aback expecting a by the number slasher Martin Green. I would completely agree, and I would say that's why it fucked people up.
Brain candy.
Yeah, because it also was during the start of what we like to call the reboot decade, or reboot decade. Yeah, because what was this? 2007.
Basically, the millennium.
Yeah, it was 2007, so it's about 10 years of fucking rebooting everything now.
To be honest, it started right about the time of the millennium because they kind of just went, you know what, it's the new millennium, let's remake everything.
God damn it. I love the fact, I mean, by God, at least when he did the remake, as you and I have been complaining, I go, do something fucking original.
Exactly.
And he did it.
I'd
like to clarify, I actually fucking loved the two Rob Zombie movies.
We both do, as well as the original Halloween movies.
Yeah.
However,
it's why we decided to do this, because we can get how people can
love.
not like them, but also probably kind of should if you're.
The way, as I said, I mean, the way I see it is, Halloween is a more or less turn your brain off and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Whereas for Rob Zombie's take on it, you have to be paying attention, and if you're not, you get lost. And especially considering the way that he did things, it can be very, very confusing at times if you're not willing to kind of make a couple of logical deductions for yourself, regardless of how much Rob is showing you and explaining already over the course of stuff.
Okay. Oh, that was rough.
I didn't think it was that rough.
It hurt my brain a little bit.
Sorry.
Okay, cool. So. First thing we're going to do is we're going to, or last thing we're going to do before we go away, is a little notice from our new home, our television home of American Horrors. So tonight, bite-sized Gorecast, it's all about Kaiju, perfect complement to the Kaiju Marathon on the El Rey Network, if anyone was watching the El Rey Network.
El Rey is in Lucha Underground?
Yeah. Starts at 8:30 Central Time. You can watch it over on American Horrors Roku and online at www.americanhorrors.com. Right now we've got some killer grindhouse movie trailers, uncut music videos, US Sinners, Insane American Horrors, psychosexual exclusive, killer short, junkie slasher, great night school, snap deep chat, Gorecast, #3's premier, Canadian sleazy slashers, mystery chiller, the American Nightmare, Mark Fratto, Mad Flicks, short of the month, winner, Don't Feed the Troll, Death Warmed Up, and so many killer horror films. You'll think you died and went to horror heaven.
Can I take a breath?
You channel code AMHO works to add American Horrors to your Roku channel lineup all day, all night, all horror. Nice. That was. It didn't look as long on the screen as it was when I started to read it out.
Kind of didn't help matters that you didn't really take any pauses while reading stuff either.
Fuck commas, they're fuck commas, that's what I say. There's a new t-shirt. Fuck commas.
Oh no.
There could be a whole like triple X version of it. Fuck commas.
That's just set up all kinds of what
the hell? Anyone watching, if you want to send in a fuck commas t-shirt logo, we might use it. Fuck commas. Read it fast, read it loud, read it good.
Anyway,
fuck commas.
To round things up.
rounding them up. Make sure to go over to the Emerald Gore Society to check out other episodes of the Gorecast. Make sure to check out Giz on Friday nights on Limerick City Radio.
Limerick City Community Radio.
Limerick City Community Radio. That one where he's talking all about metal.
Well, I don't talk as much as play loud music.
He plays loads of metal and talks a little bit in between it. Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay, cool. So from myself, Johnny Deadly, and from the Giz, Gorecast out. Night, Burn. Back to you.